In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the thermostat and housing on this BMW 328i. This is going to be located underneath the vehicle towards the front of the engine. Let's get into it. We're going to remove this shield using an 8mm socket. Take these bolts out. And our last one, grab the shield, slide it back and pull it down. We're going to take these two bolts out, use a 8mm socket, the bracket, and then the shield's going to come down. And just grab the shield, I'm going to slide it forward a little bit and then pull it out. I'm going to drain the coolant system. I'm just using a small scraper. If you have a large straight blade screwdriver, you might be able to get in here to loosen this up. Have a drain bucket underneath. Let's pull that drain out. There we go. Drain the coolant. We're going to take the cap off. It's going to drain a little bit faster. You want to make sure you do this when the engine's cool. You don't want to do this with a hot engine. Take that off and drain that out. We're going to remove this air intake tube. Use a T20 socket. Take these screws out. Just pull that back. I'm just going to use a straight blade screwdriver. Let's separate that and pull that out. I'm going to disconnect the mass airflow sensor. I'm just using a pick. Just get underneath the tab and then just pull the connector out. Disconnect that connector right there. Now down here there's a clamp. Use a 6mm socket. Loosen up that clamp. All right, that's loose. You can try to take that snorkel off right there, or once we take these bolts out, you'll get those off. Use a 10mm socket. Take these out. Grab the airbox, pull it up, now slide that snorkel off, and you can pull the airbox out completely. Now I'll put the drain plug in, get that started, all the coolant's drained out, or as much as we could get, and take a flat blade tool and just screw that back in. And just snug that down, that's good. Now down below, there's a tube with a bracket. We need to take this screw out right here. We're going to use a T30 socket. You might be able to get it from underneath, but it's a little bit tricky. It's easier to just get it from up top. And take the screws out. Now down in the front, we're going to do the same thing. Take this bolt out. It's attached to the same tube, and there's a bracket. Take this out with a T30 socket. Just Just use a long extension. And you can use a magnet. Take that out. And we got one more. And then one more right here. More on the passenger side, so in between these tubes. And again, you can try from underneath to get it, but it just seems like it's a little easier. Get it from up top. All right, that's loose. And use magnet and pull it out. Now at the base of the reservoir, we're going to disconnect that tube. Use a pick, get underneath the clip, pull that clip up, and grab that tube, and just rock it back and forth. Pull that off. Now take a pick, get under this clip. I'm going to pull the clip out. This is for this hose that goes up there. All right, that clip's pulled out. Make sure you have a drain bucket underneath just in case any coolant comes out. And we're just going to grab that tube. Just try to pry it up. Just rock it back and forth a little bit. If you need to, you can use a screwdriver and just try to pry it a little. There we go. Let that drain. And just grab that tube. And just pull this down. Oops. Let's pull that down out of the way. This is the tube that you took the screws out of. Just pull this down a little bit. It just gives you a little bit of wiggle room. That's good right there. There's a hose down here that we're going to disconnect from up top. It's going to be easier, so we want to move the reservoir out of the way. Use a 10mm socket. Pull that off. There is a connector here. Disconnect the connector. Just push down on the tab. And then we'll just move that out of the way. All right, down below, you can reach for this tube that's gonna go down there. You can see the clamp right there. And I'm gonna use a 1/4" ratchet wrench. And just loosen up the clamp. If you can fit a straight blade screwdriver down there, you can do that. Loosen it up with that, but it's a little bit tight. Take that clamp off. You can loosen that up. And you want to grab the hose. You can try twisting it back and forth to pull it off, or try to get a pick underneath there. I'm just going to use a pick. Make sure you have a drain bucket underneath. You're gonna lose some fluid. There we go. Pull that off. That's the hose right there. And the clamp. Now take this hose off. Just use a pick. On the top side, there's a clip. And push that clip up. Get it under the clip and then pop that up. And just give it a wiggle. Let's try to get that off. And have a drain bucket underneath. There we go. good. Now on the back side of the water pump, you can see where this hose goes to the thermostat housing. You could try to take either side off first. It's not a big deal. It's easier to access this clamp, so we're just going to use a straight blade screwdriver. Loosen this one up. That's good, that's loose. Move the clamp. And with a pick, just go around the hose. Let that coolant drain out. All right, slide that off. Now, underneath there's an electrical connector. I'm just going to use a pick, get under the little tab, and disconnect the connector. Pull that off. That's good. Now we'll take these two bolts out. Use a 10mm socket. Pull that out. And one right next to it. Take those out. Now, grab the thermostat. It's going to drain out a little bit. I'm just moving the lower radiator hose to the outside, just so you can pull this down, and it comes right out. Now we're going to take the hose off the thermostat housing. Just use a 1/4-inch socket, loosen up the hose clamp here. Pull that off. Then you kind of want to see how it is. See these lines? They're going to go towards the center of where this tube is going to go. So kind of judge that. Twist this back and forth. Pull that off. Push this on as close as possible. That's kind of lined up right there. Now when the thermostat is in the vehicle, it's going to be easier if the hose clamp is facing like this. So just twist it around. We can snug this down. And then if you have to make adjustments, it's a little bit easier. Just tighten that down. Snug that down. And we have the other hose clamp. Just make this a little bit tighter, and then we'll go install this in the vehicle. Now take the thermostat and housing and carefully guide it through. Just how it came out. Get this hose around. And get that hose attached to the water pump. And I can see the hose clamp, because of where I put it, it's going to hit the other hose. So we're just going to adjust that down a little bit. Loosen that up. Twist it down. That's better right there. And it looks like our angle is good. Snug that down. Now I take these 10mm bolts and get those started. And put the other bolt in. Snug these down. That's good. Now snug this hose clamp down. That's good. And plug the connector into the thermostat housing. Get that lined up. Lock it in. Take the connector, line that up, plug that in. If you pulled this out of your way, you want to put this back. Take the bolt, get that started. Snug that down. I'm going to take the lower radiator hose. My clip came off, so I'm just going to put that back on and just push it all the way on. Get that lined up on the thermostat. Click it down in place. And you want to take this hose, just line this up top. Take that clip, push that back down. Send that hose up. And then take the bracket, get that lined up over there. Just push that hose up. Now take this hose, get that lined up on the housing. Clip it in place, that's good. We have this other hose, make sure you put the clamp on. So we're gonna put the clamp so that we can access it like that. That's good right there. Now reach down. I'll tighten that up. And just snug that down. Make sure that looks good all the way around. All right, that's good. And this hose, push that clamp back in. Move the reservoir over. Connect the connector. Lock it down. And the base. Lock that in place. And we'll get this lined up. Take the two bolts, get those started. Snug these down. Now you want to take the bolts for that pipe that goes across the front, get those started. It's a little tricky to reach down in there, but at least get those started. You can use a magnet if you need to get it back in there. That's one. And the other bolt underneath the belt. Get that one started. Okay. Now they're all in, we can tighten these down. And snug that down. Now tighten those down. Snug that down. Now I take the airbox, get this lined up. Push it on the snorkel. That's good. Get that in place. And tighten down the clamp. Snug that down. And the connector for the mass airflow sensor. Line that up. Lock it down. It's good. I'll put these screws in. snug these down. Now I'll take this air tube, get this lined up. Put that in place. Get these screws in. Snug these down. Snug. Now I'll take this shield and line this up. It'll snap in place. And then take the brackets, get those lined up. Get that started. Snug those down. Same on this side. Line that up. Snug that down. Then take the shield, get this lined up. Get some of the screws, get those started. Get some of those started. And get some of these in. All right, those are all started. Once you get those all started, just go back, snug those all down. We're going to open the bleeder screw right here, loosen that up. Just going to use a funnel and pour in the appropriate coolant. You want to use a 50-50 mix. You can hear air coming out the bleeder screw. You can see that pop up. That's your dipstick or your indicator. There's a little keyway on the side. You want to follow the keyway for where the level should be. It's just pushing the coolant through the system. Just keep adding. You want to make sure the level is right about there. This is a little bit higher, that's okay. Close the bleeder. Then we're going to put the cap on. Now we're going to do a bleed procedure. It's going to take about 12 minutes. You want to hook a battery charger There's a negative terminal there. There's a positive one over here. Or you can hook it on the battery. It's just easier to hook it up under the hood. And this is just to maintain battery voltage because the key is going to be left on for 12 minutes. Take your key, and then you're going to turn the key in the on position. Then you want to turn the headlights, have the low beam headlights on. Now we're going to go over to the heater controls. You want to turn the heat up to max, but have the blower down on its lowest setting. And then we're going to hold on the gas pedal down for 10 seconds. Make sure the engine is not running. All right, that was about 10 seconds. I can hear the pump going. And now the pump's going to do its thing for about 12 minutes. Just leave the key on, leave all this stuff on. If you listen, you can hear the pump running. It's going to be doing its thing, turning itself on and off, and you can hear liquid flowing through. So that's going to happen for about 12 minutes. And now it's been over 12 minutes and the pump is not pumping anymore. We can shut the key off. Now you can take the cap off. You can see the level is down, so we're going to top it off. There we go. And again, look at the key on the side. Get the level where it needs to be, right about there. Put the cap on. It's a good idea to road test the vehicle. Make sure the vehicle is not going to overheat. Shut it down and check it again when the vehicle is cold. And you can take off the battery charger and put this cap back on.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.